It is October and welcome to a shorter version of Kaleidoscope with Savithri Rodrigo, where stories matter. From the Kaleidoscope studios, Draupadi Veerapperuma, Nivedita Jeevabalan and in your sari, that's exactly what Maja, a new story does. Draupadi Veerapperuma built Maja, a new story, as a conscious brand, transforming pre-loved saris into stylish modern pieces. While giving heritage fabrics a second life, she also cuts down textile waste, inspires mindful fashion choices, and honors cultural craftsmanship.
Production crew is predominantly women from various communities in near and greater Colombo, ones that need the flexibility to work from home. But anyone who needs the work, we manage to give them a quick training in kind of skilling them, giving them the skill to work from home with their own machines.
The Little Treasures collection launched recently at the Design Collective add to the story.
This one specifically focuses on the smaller accessories and homeware that we make with the redundant fabric that's left over from all the products that we made in the past.
Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Do subscribe, follow, and like us for more. SriLanka Life, CDB, and The Daily Morning. Thank you for being awesome partners.
She wins with CDB Wings, exclusive financial solutions for women.
Taking a look at the week that was, here's CDB news in a blink. Sri Lanka's budget deficit from January to August is 411 billion rupees, falling 55% year on year. Sri Lanka and Japan signed 2 agreements for bilateral deals worth around 1 billion yen. Sri Lanka sets a Guinness record with the world's most expensive tea. The Vitanakanda tea factory sells Ceylon black tea for 252,500 rupees per kilogram. And in our market sketch this week, the oil share price index continued on its way upward, surpassing the all-time record high of 21,850 points. Oil prices stabilized at $62.50 US per barrel, even with expected production increases by OPEC Plus members, and July's monthly data showing US oil production at a record 21 million barrels per day, while Russia's oil production being at a 16-month high. Gold prices surged to record highs, driven by investor demand for safe haven assets after the start of the US government shutdown and expectations of US Federal Reserve rate cuts. Sri Lankan students will soon gain free access to Google's Gemini advanced AI research tools and digital resources. The Netherlands officially ditches the 5-day work week and switches to 4 days a week. China opens the world's highest bridge to the world, the Huajing Grand Canyon Bridge, 625 meters above a gorge. Jimboto, Japan, is named the world's coolest neighborhood by Time Out magazine.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. SriLanka Life.
Universal Children's Day is a celebration of childhood, but for too many children, it's also a stark reminder of the dangers they face. In today's context, childhood has never been more complex. A recent study reveals that 95% of abuse cases involve someone whom the child knows, a heartbreaking truth that demands action. Today on Kaleidoscope, we speak with mental health specialist and manager of Leeds Child Protection Dehiwala, Nivedita Jeevabalan, who is also a psychologist at the National Council for Mental Health. On a day dedicated to children, what is the most urgent message we need to hear about their safety and their well-being for Sri Lankan children?
During this time, the most important things that what I would like to say is prevent children from any harm or abuse.
So, recent statistics indicate that 94.5% of child abuse cases are actually involving someone who is familiar to them. So, what does this reveal about the current risk that children face in Sri Lanka today?
We always think as adults, and it's a myth, is like we think things happen, harm happens from a stranger. But the truth is, for so many years being in this field, is the children who have come and met us for counseling is always the child knew this person. So that is an alarming thing. So where the family and the society now really needs to take this serious, and we also need to teach our kids how they need to protect themselves, and not like parents can't be always be with them, always traveling with them, protecting them. Now sometimes that is going to that extreme, but what we need to do is we need to teach, and we need to have a proper system in country. As adults, we need to be able to accept there are bad things happen to children, so we need to work together as a community.
So, what are the most effective ways to equip children to recognize and respond to unsafe situations?
From the beginning, when they are very small itself, even toddlers, we need to start talking to them about their safety, and also to teach the kids about their body parts and name them very comfortably. These are some of the things we don't do culturally, so that the children will know and open to be having conversation. Also, we teach them from very small age, I will say even 2 to 3 years, with their own toys or dolls they have, to say that some of their parts of the body needs to be untouched or be touched by the people who are very safe, and who are these people. So having those conversations from the beginning, the child will also know these are the people they are safe with, and if something happens also, they will be more comfortable to come and talk to the people. And also we can identify adults within the conversations, and who are the safe people you could have. So the child knows, okay, if the mother is not available, who is the next person, who is the next. So these things should be normal conversations within the family.
So, beyond the preventive action that you mentioned, how do you support children who have survived abuse?
So Leeds has been doing this type of services for the last 25 plus years. One of the things, we have some professionals who will be working with the child. They are all trained in trauma-informed counseling, and we support the child and the family members. Also, we have our legal team, so we also to support the legal work going with this. So initially it will be more the counseling, one-to-one counseling, and getting the child building back to the normalcy. So I will say it will be building their resilience to face the day-to-day activities what they have been doing. But most of the time the observation is, more than the child able to come back, the society doesn't allow that to happen. They are more, or the families are very reluctant to talk about it. They keep the child in a corner, and the legal process again is one of the saddest things, is it's prolonged. So things don't move hand in hand. The child is ready to move, but then again and again the memories has to be called back every time when they go into the court. So that trauma keeps continuing, and unfortunately, averagely it takes around 10 years now for the child to finish the case.
As a priority, what should be implemented first, and to make sure this kind of works?
We need to be ready to accept that these things exist, this problem exists. Sometimes still there is a denial that these problems exist in our country. And this is not happening by anyone outside, it's happening to children by people who they know. So we need to be able to talk to the children. We need to be ready to have these open conversations. That's something first. We don't have a proper psychosocial support for the survivors. So some of the time these cases happen, and when they are children, it doesn't really have any impact. they just go on. But when they are coming into teenagers, all these behavioral issues, when they understand what they happen, is the time things are coming out. Then there is not enough resources within the system to support the children. From police to the legal to the medical care should able to understand about the trauma informed effects and how to deal with the children, how to speak to them, how to respond to them, and also culturally sometimes still there is a stigma, still there is a blame on the victim.
It's time for the weekend, but not before you save the date for next week with us.